Hey everybody, welcome to the West Dakota Dad. My name is Cody. This is my podcast where we talk about faith, family, and life. This is episode number 31 with lawn care. So most of you have already realized that the weather is starting to become consistently warm, which means the trees are budding, the flowers are blooming, the grass is still a little brown because we just really haven't had much moisture. But that's about to change in my yard because I have got out my grass-stained shoes, I've whipped out the lawnmower, I've got my sprinklers primed. It's time to get my yard whipped back into shape. Now, with that being said, I had a little bit of a mishap the other day. That actually happened because we've been watering our lawn for a couple weeks now, but we had one night that I noticed the temperatures were going to dip down into the freezing area, and I decided to take the word of caution and drain the exterior plumbing on my house for my sprinkler, just because I don't want to have to replace that sprinkler valve again. Yeah, learning from experience there. Not cheap, not fun. That's a story for a different time. But anyways, like I said, I turned off the water, I drained it, and so the next day I wanted to water the lawn, so I went inside, I turned on the water. I came back outside, my little girl was playing in a bucket of water next to me when I happened to notice that there was just a tiny leak coming from the plug in which I normally blow out my sprinklers from. And I was like, no big deal. I'll just go over there. I'll give it a little turn to tighten it. Problem solved. So I went in my garage and grabbed the proper tool for the job, which happened to be a flat tooth channel locks. And I came back out, put my channies on there, gave it just a little bit of a turn, and it was as if God said, "It's time to renew your baptism, son," because just then that plug blew out and I was nailed with that holy Southwest water in a flood as comparable to the one in Genesis. And of course, everything that's hitting me is now hitting my daughter, getting her soaked. She starts crying. So I go to her rescue and I pick up her, and I was going to run inside to turn off the water. Then I thought to myself, oh wait, I have a valve out here. So I'm sitting here spinning circles, of course, in the line of fire, because I wanted to make sure I was going to get all my sins washed clean and onto my lawn. But I got my water turned off. I went into the garage just as my wife was getting home, and she saw me and my daughter standing there soaking wet head to toe, and my daughter crying, and she's wondering what the heck happened. It's a little bit tough one to explain, but no big deal. I was able to go to the hardware store. I grabbed a new plug and a 2-pound bag of pretzels to cheer my little girl up, which did the trick. And yeah, I really wish I would have had that on film, because if you thought the gopher in the gutter was funny video, this one would have taken the cake. So I think from now on, anytime I do just even the seemingly smallest repair or anything, I might just throw my phone on just in case something happens, because it seems like odds are not in my favor for things going right. And, you know, sometimes my misfortunes are your guys' comedy hour. So anyways, lesson learned. But in honor of kicking off the summer, I thought I would do a quick top 5 list for you guys. And this is going to be called my top 5 Dadism tips for the summer lawn care. I think that's going to be a catchy title. So we're going to start with number 5. And that is, you're going to want to start watching your local weather channel, okay? Now I know what you're thinking. Why would I want to watch my local weather channel when I have an app on my phone that I could just look at? Well, here's a quick answer for that. If your app on your phone is incorrect, who are you going to blame? I mean, am I right? Only yourself, because you didn't watch the news. And also not with that, if you watch the local news station, you start to create this bond, like you almost know them, even though they have no idea who you are. But you create this bond. You start talking with your friends, fellow dads, your neighbors about, hey, did you hear what Henry had predicted for this weekend? Supposed to be pretty nice. And then the weekend comes and the weather's not very nice. And then you always talk about the next time. Yeah, I can't believe he guessed that incorrectly. I wish I could get paid to make incorrect predictions and still have a job. And so yeah, there you go. And not only that, but weather's always a good topic to talk about. It's neutral. Everyone has the same agreements in a way. And if you are talking to somebody from out of state, like family or whatever, you can always just make sure you give them that you're the weather where you're at is always just a little bit worse, to give that little humble brag that you're a little bit tougher person than they are dealing with that. So anyways, number 5, watch your local weather channel. Number 4, okay, we're going to take full advantage of that 11% rebate going on at Menards. I want you to make sure that you get all of your fertilizers, your hardy grass seed, and all your lawn care needs early, and take advantage of that 11% rebate. Don't forget to mail in your receipt, because when you do, you get that rebate back and you start collecting them, and you take advantage of another 11% rebate going on, and when the seasons change, whatever it is, and now it's like you have this big discount for Christmas stuff or whatever it is that you, what season you like to buy stuff for. Okay? And not only that, but while you are at Menards, you need to make sure that you go to the barbecue grill section and just admire all those nice grills you have. Maybe even go get a set of tongs to give a couple test clicks and really pretend like you're about ready to prepare a big family barbecue. And then when the salesman comes over, you just go, these are nice, but they'll never beat Old Faithful at home. And then you walk away high and mighty because you just practice contentment. See, it's a win-win. By the way, that also pertains to the lawnmower section as well. And then before you leave Menards, you got to make sure you pick up a nice $4.88 hat or shirt, because it really just sets the tone for the summer. Okay, number 3 is to make sure that you have that nice old pair of tennis shoes that is completely dedicated to mowing your lawn. Now, if you don't have an old pair of tennis shoes and you need to go buy a new pair, and you're wondering, what should I get? Well, there's always the timeless classic of getting a nice pair of New Balance or maybe even Nike Monarchs. But you got to make sure that you get white. It's a timeless style. Your dad probably even had them. But it's really kind of what professionals use, I imagine, in the lawn mowing, the home lawn mowing areas. And you can always tell how experienced of a lawnmower is by the shade of green that's on those shoes. And like wine, they get better as the years go on. And if you step in a pile of fresh dog doo that you just did not see, just a simple little hosing, they're good to go. Yeah, so number 3, have that pair of grass-stained tennis shoes. Number 2, now this one I learned a little bit later in life, okay? And that is, when you mow your lawn, for best results, you need to mow straight diagonal lines, no matter how inconvenient it is, okay? If you have a long, skinny yard, you betcha you better be doing them diagonal lines, because it really shows to all your neighbors and everything that you're a true lawn master. But if you're unable to do straight lines, you might want to, another trick is make sure you mow your lines parallel with the road that faces your front yard or whatever yard you're mowing, because then it kind of hides them and everything, and people won't assume that you had too many bush lights while you're mowing. So there's that. That's number 2. Mow straight diagonal lines no matter how inconvenient it is. And now we're down to number 1. And that is, it's a big one. When you're done mowing, you need to walk out street side facing your house in a fully appreciative stance, admiring what masterpiece you just got done creating. And if you do not have a ton of grass stain residue on your jeans or your leg hairs, are you even doing it right? But there you go. You have to make sure that everyone knows that you're the true artist of your yard. So that's my 5 tips for the 5 dadisms of summer lawn care. But wait, do I have one more bonus tip for you? You darn right I do. And this one, you might say it's more of a Surgeon General warning. I don't know. A little side note, I'm just going to call it a bonus tip. And that is, don't fall to adult peer pressuring by being the last one in the cul-de-sac to mow your lawn. Be the first. Set the standard for all the rest of your neighbors, okay? That's what I had for you guys today. Kind of a little bit off of an episode, but hey, I'm feeling cheerful. I got a full dose of vitamin D. I'm even sweating as we're sitting here talking. But we're going to close up, as always, at least with something from the good book of the Bible, and that is from 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 24-25. And that is, though the grass withers and the flowers fade, but the word of God stands forever. And just like our lawn care, guys, we might slave over it over the summer to be proud of, but the winter will just take it out. And why? So we can do it all again next year. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And until next time, I'm the West Dakota Dad. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to the West Dakota Dad podcast. If you like what you heard, please drop a rating, share with your friends, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any content.